It's very long, and basically whatever can be put there. You don't need to read it because it is a topic about the development of PWA product from the very beginning, where like nothing we had, to the product which is now working. And I want to share the story which was developed of random events, random steps, and random words can be put here. But it has some small sense. But anyway, as I told, my Spanish is fatal, and I don't know what was told about me. So I would like to start with the first question from me. Who the fuck is this guy? So I was a Magento developer. I was a Magento 1 developer. Then I switched to Magento 2 development in ScandiPWA. Then I was in sales. Then, once PWA arrived to our lovely company, I've decided to switch back from sales to PWA because it is something that I'm feeling will change the world. And ScandiPWA is an agency from Latvia, far north. And if PWA would be developed in 9th century, we would look like these guys with me. But we are normal people. Big team in Latvia. You are all welcome to visit our offices. Easy. It is very lovely country to visit. So, PWA. In this question, we were a bit forecasting everything because here you can see that one of our colleagues in 2016 started to speak about PWA and potential integration into Magento, but at this time we did not have known cache API to store everything, no IndexedDB in the browsers. We did not have the service worker support in all the browsers, and Magento was not even able to. No one was even thinking in Magento about the ability to support PWA because Magento had another issues to live with. But PWA is now. PWA is running, everyone is speaking about it. I guess a lot of companies all around the world have ready PWA solution, or they think it is ready PWA solution, or it is almost PWA solution which is adding push notifications and that's it. But it is now and no one can deny it. But during the development we faced with the first problem that people usually are Jon Snow in PWA. No one knows nothing. Everyone speaks about PWA, but what's that? Well, that's some technology and it's hype. But we had two people who never watched Game of Thrones. It is the CTO and front-end lead Alfred, who started to develop the product on their own while sitting after work. Before the management even believed in this technology, they built some product to show. And then the journey started. To be on the same position with you, let's a bit check what in our vision PWA is. It is web page which is working in a browser. It is a web page which could be converted into application. It is a web page which is not needed to be deployed several times for different devices. We have just one instance of the website and we are working with it. And it is a single code, so if you are a Magento developer, since you've understood how PWA is built, you is at the same moment an Android and iOS developer. You just need to know tools which are making PWA. And of course, the thing which sells to everyone, offline. Offline is very important in PWA, and many solutions at this moment are still, they do not have it yet because it is tricky to implement and to keep the speed optimized for the good UX and for the good performance and to not be an overload for the system. So what for us made the PWA work? And it was just a simple, these three things which were simple, but at the end, if you see, the man found the gun in Sam's backpack, and I would love to be that man to find the gun and shoot myself, because that is just three simple things which needed a lot of changes and a lot of mindfucks, I don't know, to be. So, service worker is, I do not recall if someone was speaking about it today, but it is, in simple words, it is just some JS which is running in the browser and doing all the work as a programmable proxy, and it can proxy all the requests which are coming from the customer, and it can decide on its own if, wow, that will kill me. But nevertheless, service worker can decide if the data should be served from the server or it should be served from the cache API. So it can check it and serve almost immediately from the customer machine. It is a simple sample of the service worker where we on the install event, we are skip waiting. It is a feature in service worker when you have like several tabs open with the old instance of service worker and you update your service worker. It will not be updated immediately. It will be queued because before all the tabs will be closed with the previous service worker. This line is skipping this. It can break the logic, yes, but if you're a developer, you don't need to think about all the tabs, whatever. And this service work is just creating the request with headers to clean the cache because we did not have the logic inside the application to clean the cache from the application. So we decided to make it in service worker, and it was a hotfix and it worked. But it happens only on install of the service worker. All the rest cache updates are happening from the application. Just for install it happens. Service worker, it has three main life cycles. The install, which is installing the new version of service worker. Activation is when, for example, if you are not skipping, when all the tabs are closed. Activation happens when everything is closed and service worker is updated, and fetch is just exchange of the data with the GraphQL or whatever you want. And the service worker has a scope. It is really very important where it is located. So if you have service worker somewhere here, then you can go inside all the folders and you can serve all the content. But if you have service worker, if you have it in this folder, then you cannot just go into image. If it is not in JS, you cannot just go up and to image and serve it because it is a security problem and, well, it is not possible. So then we have cache API and IndexedDB. It is the features in the modern world that are integrated almost in all the browsers, with something in Safari not working that good, but still. Here is the first problem. It is just limited to gets. Then later we will speak of how we bypassed it by caching the post into here. So we've converted the GraphQL post into get and was able to cache it. So, and then offline experience where the service worker is just serving on all the content depends on its logic. If it has a cache, if it will be served. If it is not, then sorry, you will not see anything. And why it is so cool, the PWA and client-side rendering is that for us, for developers, we will be able to have, even less powerful servers running if we are serving PWA application, because all computing is done by client side, so we don't need to bother about it. And the network usage by client is also reduced because we are not receiving all the pages, we are just receiving some chunks of data and that's it, nothing more. Obviously, if we were doing the product from the very zero, we had nothing to look at, to check with, and because it was even started before Magento 2.3. So before PWA Studio was released, we've already started development of the project, just hoping that PWA Studio will be fine for us. Well, we'll see later. So we've decided to go with React because we took the simplest and dummiest, one of the dummiest ways to check. It was Google Trends, and React.js is much more trendy, and it is much easier to sell than to the customer. And like to find a developer who knows React than knowing some hidden Ukrainian JS library. And also, since we are now rendering on the customer side, we need to think about the usage of the resources, and we found that React is indeed the most efficient way to work on client machine to not burn their phones. And of course, Mark Zuckerberg, because it is additional hook to sell much more easier. The library, which is known by everyone, that React is done by Facebook, Facebook's done by Zuckerberg. If I will take that library, I will be earned as a Zuckerberg. Everyone wants it, and then you can much more easier communicate it to the client. Now a bit of the guts of the theme. Do you agree? The only one who will agree with that is the one who never was working with checkout. Like, that's crazy. Thank you. So we were thinking a lot about making Magento X in front end at all, and we've kept it Magento. We left only the best we have in Magento. This and business logic should be here, but all the front end are moved to our separate PWA product, our PWA theme. Which should be mentioned that our product is a theme, so it is not any service running somewhere in the cloud. It is not something that like, okay, I'm a Magento developer, I'm taking it, but I don't understand where the front end is. I'm changing like home page and what? I'm changing template, nothing changes. So it is a composer package which is installed just like normal another composer package and is activated, and that's it. And you have PWA theme out of the box. During the development, we found we are in need in full stack JS development, which was like we've started to hiring people in Latvia, and we are looking for full stack JS developer, and they were like, ha ha ha, stupid recruiter, do you know that JS is front end? And we were like, of course we know. So full stack JS development is done because we need to separate the business flow. We have front end model components, like here the components, and here the folder in which we are declaring the types of everything we are receiving. Here is the query, which is for GraphQL requests, and here is the global store management scripts, which are managing all the global storage. This styling, we've changed the Magento approach to styling, and we've started to use the BAM, block element modifier. When you are looking at it, it can be very complex from the very beginning, but in the end it is very simple because you don't have this intention level of the styles, which are very difficult to rewrite. Then you have just, for example, this could be the block name, for example, homepage. Well, no, it is stupid. Product item. Product item, when it is selected, it has these styles. When it is a button in product title, product item wrapper, I don't know, then it is start with that. And then we are introducing the styles only by blocks. They are not shared, like block styles are not shared. Of course, we have more global scope of some like header, footer, and some theme, like main theme styles, but still the block styles should never be shared, and we are using the BAM to achieve it. Also, one thing we've added is with the help of React library, we made the CMS editing in the backend for normal people possible, because when the merchant will be editing the CMS page, he does not know anything about PWA. He knows that he has this PWA, but what's that and why the link should be like written differently because it is rendered by React, he don't know. And we've just imported this package and integrated it into Facebook, which is like, I don't know how you call it in Spain, but this, the HTML writer in the backend, Facebook. Yeah, so we've integrated this package into Facebook to support the PWA editing of the content. It is done by these simple things. We just check in everything and replace it. Working with data. Data in PWA initially is stored on the server. Then later it can be stored in on the client side as in the local storage and in the cache API. The data in cache API we can store the data which is coming from in the request, so it is like an additional layer of storage in our application. We have Varnish and we have cache API on client side. GraphQL was already covered today, so I will just skip it. It is just normal GraphQL, which was not working for us because when we just started, GraphQL was almost Node.js supported tool. We found a package which was converting GraphQL into PHP, and luckily it was also done for Magento. So we did not need to invent everything. We just started from where we were. And it was integrated into Magento 2.3, but then we found another things. Magento, when you have, for example, you are requesting the product price, it is loading the model of product. No, if we when we just connected to Magento 2.3, our solution, the pages were loading for 10 seconds. It is awful. And once they've loaded, when you are reloading, the page is served quickly because it is served from the client side, but then in 10 seconds it was serving all the content because it was getting it. It was not perfect. So we started to look for a way how we can improve it. And we did we found the persisted queries, which is the converted posts into gets, which you can already cache in cache API. So we've invented the solution to convert the GraphQL post into unique get with adding the hash to the request. If you don't mind, I will show you how it works now. So here I have GraphQL's request, and I need to go to any not recached page. It sends. It should not be 200. Die. No? Okay. Everything is cached now. Sorry, but first it sends the request and it gets the 404. Because this if the request does not exist, it throws 404. In that case, we are sending put with the same hash to the server, and then we repeat the get. And at this moment, server already knows about this request because we've sent the put, and it starts to execute it. Once it is executed, it is cached, and then it is fast. Coming back to the presentation, the next thing we found the problem with, and probably it will help someone, when we already pushed the project to pre-live, the marketers, they came to us and told okay, we found that several sessions, they are coming on landing page, but then we have a conversion. How? Because for PWA, page is not changing. When customer is browsing, for Google Analytics, for normal Google Analytics, the router is not working. So Magento built-in Google Analytics is not working because no pushes, because no pages changing. And then what we found, so like here is that it is not refreshing, and then they told us this, that PWA will never work with marketing, and we should end this presentation because it will never work. But we found a way, we found another package for React, and we wrapped, or just basically everything done in here. We wrapped our custom router. We wrapped with the logic to track page if the URL is changed on the two React events of component updated and mount. And once some component is updated, it is checking the URLs. If it is a match, we are tracking the page. Then scrollers, which are never hot. They are like this for PWA because they see that and see that it is a page. They do not see links. They do not see images because they are getting the page immediately and leave. What we needed to do is RenderTron, which is a solution advised by Google to have it. And we've developed the custom engines config to check. It is not seen, no? Well, if it is a Google bot, Slack bot, and later it will be expanded, then we are just pre-rendering the page. We are not using PWA because we've created a hybrid of customer-side rendering and server-side rendering. And this hybrid is served only in the case when it is a bot. So bot sees the page actually. So the result I will share with you just now. It is the ScandiPWA. Our PWA solution is completely done without the PWA Studio by Magento. It is done with custom GraphQL, like our improvements, which are now already on the second stage of development. We are now improving the requests, we are now improving the caching because we already have the working product. And now we are on the already cached page, and the reload for this page is 247. Okay, that's cool. Why? Okay, this was not cached, and we got the DOM in half of the second. I suppose now we have some deployments running on the PWA, but still it is very fast solution with cached things. Yeah, we have deployment because this just appeared here. What? And it is done with React, with Redux, and with very obvious for any front-end developer mechanisms and approaches. And for example, if we will jump into the code, I don't need it. The code is, for example, we want to extend the home page, which is not a page. It is just normal React component, which has some imports, and it has render method to render the component here. So if I want to remove home slider, and just to add, I've created some very stupid component, hello world component. Now, when I'm here, it should update. Yeah, it started. Yeah, so it was done like almost immediately, and we do not need to recompile theme. It is done, but it is done now automatically because of development mode. We just do not need to write these trees of checkout changes. We just need to change the normal component, and everything else is done for you, like on its own by the application we've developed. So here you can go to the, if you want, It is a demo page. Now it has the second revision with the updated styles. I should mention also that it is an open source product. So everyone who wants and who wants to train in PWA development with the team which is developing from the zero, just welcome to join. We typed. No luck for me today with this laptop. We have all these running in the Docker, so it can be delivered on any platform, on any server, and running as expected. We have outsourced also our Docker installation. Okay, come on. The Docker installation is also outsourced, so you can join it, or you can use it in your project. You can test it, you can run, you can play, you can do whatever you want. Just do not commit into master and do not push, please. So, if you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer you. So, well, yeah. Yes?
I have 2 questions.
Yeah, no problem.
I prefer to wait.
Yeah.
Javier, one of them is for you. Or for you, what do you think about Google? What do you think about the Scandi solution? Javier?
I like it. I didn't know it existed, to be honest.
Yeah, because it is not like, Vue Storefront JS, which was a year ago, I guess. It was released very, very long ago.
I didn't know you guys were working on that. It looks really good. I don't know if is it open source or is it like closed?
It is open source.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
So you can just join and jump in. Yeah, and the difference between the Vue Storefront, which is now running, is that Vue Storefront is a third-party solution. Like it is it's using the webhooks and it is using it is not directly integrated into Magento. This theme, like I was working before, like 2 months ago with Shopify, and I was like extended with some third party, and then webhooks were dying in the production, and with Vue Storefront potentially it may happen as well, but when you have everything integrated in one package, it is just an extension of your current setup.
I really like it. I think it's really good, especially for people starting with PWA, the fact that it integrates with Magento as a normal composer package. It makes it more friendly to begin with. But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and at the moment, so you can just pull the repository, follow the documentation, and then you will have all the infrastructure running. So it will be wrapped into Docker, it will be wrapped into containers, and everything will be served, and the database will be configured. So the only thing you need just open and start coding. That's it. Jacob?
Did you initially implement your GraphQL implementation, or did you use whatever it was in the box? I know you guys probably contributed to some GraphQL implementation, right?
Yes, we had several contributions, and we took already what was existing for Magento, and we've improved it. So we've improved it and extended. So if I understood correctly Spanish, you were saying that Magento at the moment does not have full GraphQL coverage, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
For our solution, all the main points are covered at the moment.
So you have your own custom implementations?
Yeah. Because we cannot wait for the Magento. Because we already have the product which we want to offer.
Yeah, that's what I knew, and that's why I asked those questions, because they need to know that.
Yeah, you can just jump into the code and see everything there. So.
My second question is, how many projects do you have in production?
Yeah. Well. We have at the moment 2 marketplaces. One is in pre-live now. It is tested, the QA by the client. It is a big marketplace in the US. And we have also Adult Store, which just started. and he has just very dummy migration from Magento 1 to Magento 2 with basic PWA setup. So he do not need any extra components, any extra modules. So he just started. Well, hopefully, we will see this by fall. We will see this marketplace running on ScandiPWA.
Thank you.
No problems. You're welcome.
¿Alguna pregunta más?
Yeah, just one question.
Just one. I was very congrats for the work. It's very nice.
Thank you very much.
Just interested in the part you went just about the CMS content, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you expect the merchant to write standard HTML code, and then if I got it correctly, you just parse it and you convert it in React components in order to inject them on the front end. I mean, that can create some risk. You have a parsers basically that translate all the standard HTML in link components and stuff like that, but you can end up with hybrid things like HTML and React components on the front end, so you need a parser on the fly, like covering all the possible HTML tags in order to inject them on the front end. That can create some weird scenarios, right?
Yeah, of course it can be. At this moment, ScandiPWA is ready as an MVP.
Okay.
So it is it is working normally. When I told about the merchant, I was speaking about the non-technical merchant worker who is working with CMS pages. I hope no merchants are entering HTML.
Yeah,
but still this logic is triggered just by save of CMS page, and at this point I don't see what can go wrong. Because it will just convert, just rename A into link, and that's it. Nothing extra.
Yeah, but it means that every time you kind of update your suite of components, you need to kind of add something to parse in from the CMS.
But it is stored in the database. Okay. We don't need.
No. I'm just saying that at the end you can end up with something that it's hybrid solution kind of.
Yes, at the moment we can end up with anything.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
But so far it is working, and CMS content is translated, and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you in ScandiPWA.